everyone, and welcome to round 2 recap. Today, Ireland played against Vietnam, and as you can see from the result on screen, we lost the match 3.5 to half. I was playing against a 22-14 today, and I had prepared something that I've never played before, which maybe wasn't the best idea in terms of how the opening went, but overall I think it was a good idea to be a bit more ambitious, because a lot of the times I'll just end up playing the Calle against stronger players and play a more comfortable opening, but I decided to prepare something specific, and it turned out well. So I've gotten some complaints about the audio, but my mics are charging, so the next recap should have better audio. Let's get into it. So I had the white pieces. I started off with e4, and I had prepared something against the Najdorf. So she placed Najdorf, which is c5, d6, and this is all main line. Knight here defending the pawn now, knight c3 to defend on e4. And after a6, the main moves are either bishop e3, bishop g5, or f3. And I played some sideline g3 here. I didn't study it well enough, because you'll see what happens, but I ended up taking with the wrong piece on d5. But there are some nice ideas with sacrificing a knight in this opening, which I thought there could be some chances to get that. So if she plays something like b5, here I can play knight d5. She can't take here, because then I've got bishop g2 and it gets really messy with the rook on a8. This diagonal is really nice for white, but there are some lines here where I figured out how to use the engine now. I just have to actually scroll down and I can see the engine. So I wasn't smart enough yesterday to figure it out. But this, every time I guess my knight is attacked, I should bring it back to e2. Wait, this is actually not the knight sacrifice line. I'm just gonna... Oh, okay. Never mind. I think maybe... Oh yeah, sorry. It was like this. b5. Knight here. Knight from b to d7. And... Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna cut this, but someone commented yesterday how my meta-analysis or something is not very useful. But I'm just analyzing the game after coming back, from the game, and I haven't looked over it, so I don't really know what I'm missing. Okay, anyways, let's just continue with the game. So she played e5, which I was expecting. I brought the knight back to e2, so later I'll play something like knight d5 and then knight c3. Hopefully I get my knights in like this. She developed her bishop, and this is actually where my prep has ended, because I wasn't prepared for bishop e7, or maybe I was, but I forgot the lines. But I was thinking that she might play b5. So I just developed my bishop, she developed her knight, I brought my knight into d5. And after she took here, I don't think I thought for that long, like I thought for, 2 minutes. I was considering queen takes, but for some reason I thought that I always should take with the pawn, which I afterwards figured out, or was told that you should never take with the pawn. So there was some miscommunication. Or hallucination from my part. I ended up taking with the pawn, and this is not good because now you don't have any pressure on d6, which is a backwards pawn. And actually, she has the pressure on d5. So here I should take with the queen. And actually already maybe black is slightly better in this position, which is not ideal. So the opening really didn't go that well. But I think both of us didn't really play so well, and she played slightly worse, I guess. So she castled, I developed my bishop. I didn't want her to play queen b6, because if I castle, I was worried about this move, even though this is probably nonsense. But I thought, oh well, I don't want this pawn to be vulnerable, and then I thought that she will just start pushing her f-pawn down the board. So I thought bishop e3 at least stops queen b6. She developed her knight, and here actually I played too quickly this game, I think. So I was preparing h3 to stop knight g4, but h3 I don't think is so good because I end up having problems. I end up having problems with this h pawn, I thought. Or h3. Oh, sorry, h3, sorry, this was what I calculated. h3, bishop f5, and after I castle, she has this move, queen c8, and it's a double attack. So I can't play h3. So here, I ended up just castling anyway, and I thought that if she goes here, I'll be happy to trade, and I'll just play queen here. Maybe this is actually not so good. Okay, it's already +1 for black, which is not great for me. But she ended up playing bishop f5, which I was also expecting. So actually, instead of castling, these were my candidate moves. Queen d3 or castling. Queen d3 to stop bishop f5, but I thought after queen d3 that she would play g6, preparing that. And then I looked at this for a bit, but I thought maybe my bishop was out of place here on h6. Even though it looks good, I don't think it's that good. And she can always trade this bishop off, which I don't think I should allow. So I ended up just castling, bishop out here. I think my understanding of this position wasn't great. So knight c3, my idea was to play bishop g5, take, and then play my knight to e4. So she played queen c8. I guess she's preparing to play bishop h3, so I played rook e1, so that when she plays bishop h3, I go to h1, and I don't give away this light square bishop. So she played b5, threatening to kick my knight, and I played bishop g5 just like I was planning, so that I can trade the knight, bring this knight into e4, and then I just have a lovely knight in the center of the board. So she kicked me, which I was happy about. Even though already here the computer still likes black's position, I was really happy here. After I took, I felt like I've achieved everything that I want in this position. So I'm attacking this pawn on d6. She has to defend it, bishop back. And now I played a4. So I'm really surprised that the computer doesn't like this. I thought that my pawn structure is just much better. I'm threatening to take. She'll have this isolated pawn on b5, which will eventually drop. And she has the bishop here, but I thought that my knight was just so much better. I mean, it's true that she has, I guess, an immediate threat to play f5, and then my knight has nowhere to go. So there is that, but I didn't think it was that dangerous. So I thought after this I'll play queen d3, and then after she goes here, I was not 100% sure where I would bring my knight, either to d2 or c3, but I thought that I could just bring it to c3, putting pressure on b5, and if she kicks me away, then I can also just go back to e2. But I didn't look too deeply at this. I knew that this was her main plan, but I didn't think it was... I didn't think her attack was that strong. So she brought her bishop back to d7, and she actually played that relatively quickly. She spent 3 minutes. She was quite low on time this whole game, so I felt like my position was better and also my time was better. But then I ended up getting really nervous at the end. So I took the pawn, and here, yeah, there are a few things that I was considering. So my candidate moves were taking queen d3 to attack the pawn. And then I was also thinking c3 or b4. Actually, b4 I was really considering. This is what I was, before my previous move after taking here, I was prepared to play b4, and then I just thought for a bit, and I thought, well, if I play b4 here, I think that, oh yeah, sorry, this is what I was looking at. Take, and then after she takes here, I was thinking that I would play here. And then we get this position, and I thought that I will be able to get the pawn back with knight c3. So I was looking at this line, and then I thought, I don't need to complicate myself. I don't need to be a pawn down just so I can win it back. So I can actually just trade rooks, and then try and bring my rook to the a file. So rook e3 to a3, rook lift. So yeah, I don't need to complicate myself. Okay, and here she played f5, which I was expecting. Oh, sorry, yes. So f5, I was prepared to just play knight d2. And then suddenly my brain turned on for the first time in the game and thought, well, what if I actually bring my knight to c5? We've got a lovely diagonal here. And then we have some tactics. So she actually played f5 quickly. She spent less than a minute on this move. And then I thought for a bit, and I was like, wait, this might actually work. My bizarre idea might work. Because if she takes, look at this. Look how beautiful this is. Oh my goodness, I got a double exclam. Well, that's the first double exclam of the Olympiad. So, knight here. If the pawn takes, I get to go here. I'm attacking the queen, so it's a double attack. If she wants to defend the bishop like this, I take, she takes, and then I have this beautiful check on d5, which is again a double attack because it's check and also attacking this pawn. And now I can take with the rook. I'm attacking the queen, and all of these pawns, well, not the one on f5, but the one on c5 and then b5, they're just going to drop. And I thought, well, actually, this is just winning for me. So I was really happy when I found knight c5, and I thought, well, I'm back in the game now. But this is where she spent most of her time. So she actually spent 17 minutes on this move, queen a7. And this is where I probably achieved my advantage because she just lost way too much time. So I took the bishop quite quickly. Queen takes. I was trying to maintain my time advantage, but at times I was not really sure what to move. So I ended up just wasting a lot of time in the next few moves. So here I went chasing this b5 pawn. She pushed f4, which was a bit surprising because she has a dark square bishop. So I thought if she was going to push a pawn, it should be the e pawn to close my bishop and open up her bishop diagonal. So I thought that e4 was much better here. Yeah, and I guess the computer says that this is just equal. I guess I was kind of expecting this, but I thought I would just play bishop f1. I would end up taking this pawn, but she has some attack here. But f4 now gives me the beautiful light square diagonal. So far in these past two games, the diagonals have been the deciding factor. So she took the pawn. I will admit I actually missed that f4 after she takes, she has this move queen a7 to attack on f2. I saw it straight after I moved. So I was considering queen takes g3, but then I thought that these two pawns are just going to be weak for the rest of the game, so there's no need to ruin my pawn structure. And if she attacks the pawn, I can just defend it. Oh, queen e3 is not great. Okay, so I was debating between queen e2 and queen e3. So queen e2 is slightly better. I mean, it's actually less than +1, so it's not that different, but it's not that winning either. But queen e3, I thought, again, playing the player, which is not great. But it worked out. I got a winning position. I thought that she will probably not want to exchange queens because then it's just a drawn endgame. If anything, white is slightly better because the b pawn will hang. So I thought that if she takes, I'll actually take with the rook because I don't want to ruin my pawn structure, and then I'll end up just attacking this pawn, and then it will probably end up being a draw. So she didn't want to take the queen. She played queen a1. I blocked with the bishop. And here she played queen d1, so she's attacking my two pawns, c2 and d5. I defended them by blocking with the queen. And here if she takes, then it's an even better queen exchange for me because I take back and this pawn can't be defended, so I end up just taking it without losing any time. She played queen g4. And here again, I missed that after I take, she has this move, queen d4. So I missed a few moves here, but apparently it's not that good anyway. Queen d4, and I have to bring my queen back, so I end up losing this d pawn, which I thought was fine for her, but I guess it's just winning because this diagonal is really good for me. It's a light square diagonal, and I have light square bishop, so it opening up has given me a huge opportunity here. And I played queen c4, so I have 15 minutes. I spent 5 minutes on this move. I did definitely feel like I was better, but I couldn't figure out how to, get my pieces into better squares. So I was looking at this. Also, I was just really stressed because Lara had just finished. Lara had lost. Alice was in time pressure. I couldn't I didn't get a chance to see how Trisha was doing, but I thought I don't want to end up being in a position to force something, and I just felt a lot of pressure in this moment. And a lot of the times it happens to me where I end up messing up when I try to force things. Or not force things, but just try really hard to win. So bishop g2 is, I was thinking bishop g2, and then I thought I will attack the queen. The queen goes back. I missed rook b7. I'll be honest. I missed rook b7, but I thought the queen will just keep pressure on f2 with the rook, and I didn't want that queen to be looking on f2, and I thought that my queen won't be able to move because it has to defend f2. So if the queens are off, then I thought that this endgame is slightly better for me. Even if it's a draw, she has to, try really hard to hold. So she moved. Oh yeah, this is a check, so she has to move her king. I brought my bishop into d5 because I wanted to block these pawns. So my plan was obviously to just start pushing these pawns, but I don't know what happened to me. It feels like the whole game I was able to concentrate, and then at the end it just I started hallucinating because all my moves were not linking in together. So after I attacked the bishop, obviously I should just start pushing this pawn. It makes sense to keep my rook behind, but my mind was all over the place. So I was thinking, oh, well, I'll just attack and then I'll push the pawn. Should I push it now? And I wasn't able to hold a cohesive thought, a full variation thought for too long. Maybe this is where the no lunch was getting to me. So rook d7, I attacked the pawn. I missed this bishop move, so this is third move that I missed. Bishop c1. I missed. Oh, I guess it's not that good, but I thought it was. I thought this was the move that ended up saving her. So after bishop a3, I ended up taking the pawn, and now I guess it's just a draw. So here I should probably just push. No, pushing is not good. Oh, okay. Well, I thought if I play c3 and defend this way, I actually will end up losing this. How do I continue here? King g2, and I'm happy to lose this pawn? Well, okay, no way would I have been comfortable playing this. How is this better for white? I guess black's king is actually quite weak here. If the king goes here, then I'll take this with check, and if the king goes back, then I end up just playing b5. Okay, this pass pawn is really strong. I guess it makes sense when you look at it, but I didn't appreciate it at the time. So I ended up taking, she took the pawn, yeah. And here, for a split second, so after I gave this check, I just panicked. I started hallucinating and I was like, oh my goodness, I've lost. I've just blundered. I thought that the bishop was on c5, so I saw this diagonal. Like, I thought that the bishop was on this diagonal. I was like, wait a second, my rook can't go back to d2 to defend because the bishop will just take me, because I was planning on playing bishop e4 check and bringing the rook back to d2. My calculation was just like completely gone. Like, my mind was not working at this point. And then I thought, wait, I've just lost this game. And then I got up from the game, so we hit 40 moves. I think this was the 40th move. Oh, this was move 39. So after she moved her king back, I gave another check. I got up and I was like, oh my goodness, what the hell did I do? The whole game, I was playing fine, and then now I've just messed it up. And she moved quickly, and I was like, why is she letting me check her like this? Like, she kept moving her king. She moved her king to h7. I quickly gave a check, and I was really confused because I thought she was winning. And then after she played king g8, I gave her a check. She played here. She looked at me, and then I looked at the board. And I was like, wait, the bishop is not on this diagonal. But anyway, this is still just a draw. So after I saw the bishop was on the diagonal, I was like, oh my goodness. I just, yeah, I'm hallucinating. So Trisha finished like a second before me, and then I ended up just getting a draw. Like, I was going through so many emotions at the end. But earlier I should have definitely tried to do something, because maybe even before this, yeah. Here it was stupid of me to go off of the b file. I should just push b4, b5, b6, have it protected, and this bishop can't really get to the f2 pawn. It's quite difficult for her to get through. I guess she can still try this way, but it's much more difficult because when I have b4, it's protected. And another thing, I thought like this was her plan, h4, and then after she takes, and then she can use maybe this dark square diagonal. But overall it was an okay game. I don't know what is my accuracy. I'm not 100% sure what my accuracy is. If I go back to the game, wait, if I make it bigger, does it say? Oh, okay. So 88% accuracy, and black had higher accuracy, 88.9% accuracy for her. So okay, layout is messed up, but that's fine. So overall, we finished with 3.5 to half. I managed to scrape a draw. Well, not scrape it, but I managed to get a draw, which I'm happy with. Get some rating points, maybe 5 or something. And tomorrow we go again. I'll have the black pieces probably, and I will hopefully not give away another half point. But I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. It's a little bit shorter than last time. No, a little bit less meta commentary. Chris, I will see you guys later. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks for supporting and being here, and let me know how else I can improve. I did appreciate that you let me know anyways what I can improve on in the last video. So I'll see you guys later. Hopefully it's not too quiet, and enjoy the rest of your evening.